Hello and welcome back to Galactic Reviews.
Hey!
And we review the Bad Batch Season 3 trailer. Now we are going to review a critique on a whole bunch of reviews made by a whole bunch of paid for actors, it seems like. So let's get this going. Anyway, so this is a video by Grizzy, which we watched in the past. So I'll link his channel in the description down below, but let's start the video.
Okay, before we begin, I just gotta say this. I do not watch the Disney Star Wars animated BS. Long story short, I just don't have the time. And more importantly, Disney Star Wars hasn't earned my time.
I will say, while the video is buffering, to some degree, those are valid critiques. Those are very valid critiques as far as like Disney Star Wars not being really worth anybody's time and kind of just being a either
Except for the paid
nostalgic
actors.
fest. Yeah, well, it's basically most of the time Disney Star Wars has just been either a nostalgic fest or a lackluster production. Rebels was never really big until Darth Vader came in season 2, and then after that it started doing better, but it never did great. And Resistance never got any traction because it was set between episodes 8 and 9, and that really didn't soar well either. So
Resistance was honestly so bad.
And Bad Batch was
Like I watched like the first few episodes, I was just like, nah. When it came to like Resistance.
I never watched it. But it didn't look good. It didn't captivate me. And then when people told me that I trusted said they didn't like it, I knew enough to stay away from it. And like other productions like Bad Batch have fallen off the cliff, and even the live action productions have been horribly done. So I'm not saying he's completely invalid with this. It's just there are later critiques that he does make to the just the cartooniness of it, I guess, is what the best thing would be said, that I don't necessarily agree with.
Disney Star Wars hasn't earned my time.
Has it done to buffering?
However, several of you have reached out to me in the comments recently and said, Mr. Grizzy, you gotta check out these Disney Star Wars shills reacting to the Bad Batch Season 3 trailer. And since I do take requests on here, I checked it out. And apparently you guys just wanted to torture me.
Ventress is alive, I guess. What the flip? What the freaking frig?
What?
I've got my clone shirt on. I've got my Bad Batch jacket on.
And I've got my medication. Now I want you all to pay attention to how formulaic and how similar all of these people's reactions are as they watch this trailer. So they all start their videos talking about how excited they are for the Bad Batch and for this trailer.
Today I'm super excited because we have the trailer for the final season of The Bad Batch.
I'm so excited for this. Feel like I've been waiting forever for a season 3 trailer for Bad Batch.
I feel that it's necessary to remind you all that these are grown adults reacting to a cartoon.
The Bad Batch trailer just dropped. We're gonna go watch it. Come watch it with me. Let's go. I am so excited. Let's go.
Calm down, bitch.
I say excited, but I'm excited, I'm anxious, I'm sad because this is the final season and I love my boys.
So then the trailer finally begins.
So let's go.
Bad Batch.
Kill me.
So the trailer begins and it's boring as fuck. But obviously they can't just sit there and do nothing like a fucking retard. So they have to pretend to be interested, usually by just going ooh and ah and making a bunch of weird noises.
Oh! Woohoo! Oh!
No! Go get her. Let's go.
Oh!
No!
Wait.
And then anytime you see a character that you recognize, you must immediately shout out that character's name.
B.
Oh shit, ISO Cad Bane, ISO Fennec Shand.
Fennec? Cad Bane, let's go.
Fennec! Oh, Cad! Oh!
Fennec Shand! Cad Bane!
That's Asajj Ventress.
I'm glad you're here to tell us these things.
And finally, at the end of the trailer, when the big reveal happens, it's time to do shill face. Now make sure you pay attention to how similar some of these reactions are.
What?
Look at that. The exact same reaction. Sorry, fake reaction.
Let's go!
But you're making it very tempting.
Top comment on her video. When I heard Ventress' voice, I screamed. And again, and again. Then I started to cry.
Pussy.
No, 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 why am I crying?
Because you're an idiot.
John Roca, everyone. This is the guy that told us, because we dared criticize Charmin Obeyed Chinoy, that we need to grow the fuck up. Remember?
Grow the fuck up and nut up and shut up.
So I guess this is what he means by grow the fuck up. Go down in your basement, watch cartoons, and do shill face. And they always make sure to look directly into the camera. Really makes it look genuine.
What?
So when the trailer finally ends, then it's time to make their predictions, because we need to get people even more excited for the show. Alright, so this is Catherine, by the way.
Hi, my name is Catherine.
Yeah, I know. We just had sex 5 minutes ago.
She has a typical Disney shill prediction.
Who was Palpatine talking to? I have an idea of sorts, but I don't know. I mean,
So because this show takes place between episodes 3 and 4, there is one character that absolutely has to be in this, according to the Disney shills.
potentially seeing Lord Vader in this series, seeing him in action, fresh Vader, you know, what's he like? What's his skill set looking like, hot off of Order 66?
For God's sakes, can we just leave Vader alone? He doesn't have to be in everything just because the timeline fits. If you want Darth Vader, go back and watch the original trilogy.
Well, the cloning situation, how important? Of course, that's been the prevalent thing over the first 2 seasons, so...
Okay, for this next one, I'm going to have to defer to all of you in the comments who has seen this show so far.
Trying to kind of maybe give us a little background, make it canon, this idea of how Emperor Palpatine cloned himself so that he ended up there at the end of the Rise of Skywalker. So
is that the route they're possibly going to go with this? Are they going to use this show to try and explain?
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Please let me know in the comments. And Roca mentioned canon. The definition of canon is the established or agreed upon constraints governing the background narrative, setting, storyline, characters, etc. in a particular fictional world. That's a pretty good definition, I'd say. Now, would you like to hear the Disney Star Wars shill definition of canon?
Canon is always changing. That's the wonderful thing. And canon can be whatever you want it to be.
Canon can be whatever you want it to be. That is the exact opposite of the actual definition. But this is the mindset these people have to have in order to enjoy, praise, and defend Disney Star Wars. And these are the people that Disney Star Wars is catering to with all of their content. Grown adult children.
I agree with his critique on the show, in as far as like the story looking crappy, the show kind of looking bland as heck. I don't necessarily agree with him say cartoons are only for kids when he deliberately clips out stuff from cartoons that's obviously not for kids, like Family Guy, and it's in this video. So
He does bring up good points though.
he does bring up good points. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that one's the one I disagree with the most. But that one really has nothing to do with the show itself. It's just more so his own personal critique as to why he does not watch these animated shows. And it's only one of the two that he kind of mentions where he's like, they haven't earned my time to be watched. Because I think the other two that he gives is, it's a long thing, commitment, and it doesn't feel like it's worth my time. It doesn't look like it's worth my time. And I can say for at least Bad Batch and Tales of the Jedi and all that. And I don't know if any more of them have come out besides those two. There's probably a few. I think Star Wars Vision is another one. Yeah, I agree. They really
What's
don't.
that?
Visions? Star Wars Visions?
Yeah. What is that?
That is so like Disney got some anime people to then make Star Wars shorts. And it really has nothing to do with Star Wars. but a lot of the time it has nothing to do with like.
So Disney's ruining anime too?
No, they were trying to milk anime as it had been getting a big thing in the US and overseas and stuff. They were trying to milk it in order to sell more Star Wars stuff, and I don't think it's worked.
Oh, I wouldn't see why it would.
From what I've seen, it's been all right, but it hasn't been Star Wars. It just felt like a Star Wars knockoff. Yeah, I can't say I disagree with him on a whole lot. So the big thing that he talks about is Ventress kind of being back and breaking canon. That's there's a book that came out that was
Ventress dies, right?
Yeah, she dies in a book, Dark Disciple, which essentially took a couple unused clone, like an unused Clone Wars arc, and essentially made that in a book because they couldn't really use it. They couldn't really put it into TV format.
Do you think, which I don't think they will, I personally don't think they will, but do you think they'll explain how Ventress came back, or I don't think they will.
If they do, it'll be like a one-liner. It'll be like like nobody's ever really gone or something like that. It'll be dumb. I don't
like, wait, I thought she died. Oh no, she's back.
I think she's explicitly said to have died in that book and in that arc. This is already breaking canon as is. So
yeah, because the book is canon, or considered canon. Yeah.
Well, the book was said to be canon, and this is a problem that a lot of people have with Dave Filoni, which I've kind of gotten to dislike Dave Filoni the more and more I
read
think
a
about
book,
stuff.
Dave.
Well, it's not the fact that he doesn't
read a book, Dave.
It's not a fact that he doesn't read a book. It's that he doesn't care for anybody else's what anybody else has done in Star Wars except for what he wants to do. He doesn't care about anybody else. And that even goes to the extent of George Lucas, to the event of in Clone Wars. Anakin and Obi-Wan in episode 3. Well, Anakin says to Count Dooku in episode 3 that my powers have doubled since I last saw you, since we last fought. And if you're thinking Clone Wars terms, the Dave Filoni's Clone Wars, you're thinking, oh, last week? And that's obviously a reference to the last fight in season 2, where he obviously got bested by Count Dooku. So, or episode 2, where he got bested by Count Dooku, and that's a reference back into that point. So it's an obvious break in the canon. So it's that's just something Dave Filoni's never been good at. Like, that's not to say like his storytelling isn't at least early on in Clone Wars, it wasn't horrible. Like when he was telling just simple war stories, they were to some degree enjoyable for the most part, especially when it was dealing more so with the clones. It was later on, the more that he got into a lot of this stuff where it's been kind of poorly done, poorly written. So like I said, I really can't disagree with a whole bunch of what Grizzy has to say on that, besides the knock to cartoons. But other than that, got anything else?
I think he does a very good job getting his point across. Like when it comes to like in a very funny way. Like getting his point across in a very funny way. I think what he's really good at is like pointing out that these people are faking it and showing that across the board, the people who are saying, oh, this is going to be good. Oh, this is going to be this. But you're not like but I think like the true Star Wars fans know for a fact that this isn't going to be good. And like, I know you're a true Star Wars fan. I know probably is Grizzy? His name?
I would think so, but I'm not 100% sure. So
well, the guy who made the video who we watched, he is
it's
a
Grizzy.
true Star Wars fan. Grizzy, yeah.
His name is Grizzy, yep.
Grizzy. So Grizzy is a true Star Wars fan. But I think the big problem with like the show is that it's going to make canon, or it's trying to make its own canon, which I think personally could happen. Because you saw in the video that she didn't have a red lightsaber, she had a yellow one.
That's also in the book, if I'm not mistaken. So
really,
if I'm not mistaken, on the cover she does have either green or yellow lightsaber, and so I'm assuming that's something that she got from there. She's got the same haircut that she did in the cover of the book. I haven't read the book myself because it's Disney Star Wars. I don't care, but I do
But I
know
think what
of
they're
it.
trying to do is they're just trying to make their own canon.
I don't
That's
think
pretty
so.
much what they're trying to do.
I don't think so. I think Dave Filoni
Well,
just
this is
doesn't care.
completely overriding the canon that you're talking about.
I know, and I think it's just because Dave Filoni doesn't care.
Yeah,
He doesn't care. So
he doesn't care about the actual canon.
no, he doesn't care about what other people have done to the story in and of itself, whether it
Yeah.
be good or bad. Hence why Thrawn is just thrown in there randomly in all of his products when Thrawn was in Legends and was done well. And yeah, Dave doesn't care. And that's kind of come to the forefront
And
the
it's
more
clear
that
it
we've
shows that he
watched of
doesn't
his content.
Yeah, it's clear in his shows that he doesn't care at all.
Got anything else to say about this?
Because he, I think Sid 2.0 is not a great character.
Yeah.
It's literally Sid 2.0.
I didn't like Sid.
And I don't, huh?
I didn't like Sid.
I didn't like Sid either, to be honest.
And then I don't like this new lady. I think her name is like Phoebe or Fee or something. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't like her either.
So yeah, a lot of things not to like about the show. So
yeah,
I'm probably gonna end up reviewing it because I reviewed the first 2 seasons. I might as well review.
Hopefully, we can get Thomas for that.
I don't know, possibly. Thank you everybody for watching this episode of Galactic Reviews, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.